Ask me further, he's got a scheme, promising riches, but it's not what it seems. Onpassive, the name they claim, but beware they're playing a dangerous game. They'll tell you it's easy, just invest your cash, but deep down you know it's too good to last. A pyramid in disguise, they're building a lie. Don't fall for the tricks, it's time to say goodbye. We're breaking free from the scam they weave. No more empty promises, no more deceit. We won't be fooled, we won't be played. Ashman fair scheme is starting to fade. Ashman fair scheme is starting to fade. They'll tell you it's easy, just invest your cash, but deep down you know it's too good to last. A pyramid in disguise, they're building a lie. Don't fall for the tricks, it's time to say goodbye. We're breaking free from the scam they weave. No more empty promises, no more deceit. We won't be fooled, we won't be played. Ashman fair scheme is starting to fade. Breaking free from the scam they weave. No more empty promises, no more deceit. We won't be fooled, we won't be played. Ashman fair scheme is starting to fade. Breaking free from the scam they weave. No more empty promises, no more deceit. We won't be fooled, we won't be played. Ashman fair scheme is starting to fade. Ashman fair, he's got a scheme.
Stop going there.
Karma's a bitch.
Hello, everyone, and happy Friyay! That was cringe. I'm so sorry. But today we are just going to be going through several different things. We're going to be hearing from Mike Ellis. We're going to be looking at some ads. We're going to be reading about Earls in the blog. And just going to sort of have a fun Friyay. We have Thomas with us, and he says, Queen, remember, trillions in your organization any minute. He promises any minute. Very, very quick path to trillions. That's all. And then, of course, we have I'm Mike Ellis,
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
I'm going to be hearing that a lot today, so get used to it, because I'm sure people will ask me to play it many, many times. Jelly is here and says it's coming very, very quickly, so I guess she agrees with Thomas. And Albs is here in it to scam it, and I'm excited for this one. Cheyenne came back to say hello. And I don't think he added more. I think he's gone back to his original. Love our world top greatest internet king, our ideal lord, big bro, CEO, organizer, Ash Sir, and management. 5 groups of tech teams who created such biggest, unique, wonderful, unique platform in this world. It's a lot of fucking words that don't really mean anything. But thank you, Cheyenne. I always appreciate you. Anyone else notice that Mike is starting to look like Gollum and his throat clear is getting worse? I'm just saying, Violet says. I mean, the scammer throat clear. Joe's here. Good to see you. I hope that you're doing well and that your mother-in-law is doing well. Jen is here. Good to see you. Also, you can't gift an account for my birthday? No, there is no way to even gift accounts or get accounts right now or do anything. Sherry is here. Chris says that he'd give the song a 77. It's got a nice beat and you can dance to it. I agree. I like this. I like this Bill Musk production, Jelly says. That's a better Bill Musk production. That one's a next level production. Stop going there. Yet here we go. Going there again.
Stop going there.
Here we are. Doing it again, guys. Doing it again. At least he isn't using emojis. True, true. Hello, Takara. Good to see you. Sanju is here. And Alps, thank you for the $10. Happy birthday. Thank you. My birthday is on the 13th, but thank you. You had to go to CVS to pick up meds she doesn't need? Oh. Well, that doesn't make much sense. Does she not need the meds? Why'd you pick them up, Joe? What's going on there? Don't take meds that you don't need. Maybe she does need them. She's just stubborn. Maybe she's like my husband. She gets pain meds and then she just refuses to take them. So first thing on the agenda today, I just want to quickly go through this. So I kind of brought it up the other day, which is why I want to just quickly kind of go through it first. Because during my argument with good old Derek, it kind of came up. So I just want to go over how there are several websites out here that you can use in order to check to see if websites are safe to use. Okay, and this one says that Onpassive.com has a 1% trust score. It says that it has gained a reputation for being untrustworthy due to a combination of factors. The website may host content that raises questions about its reliability, employs deceptive practices, or has been flagged for the presence of malware. I know it's all the above. So you are advised to exercise caution and be vigilant in their interactions, as the overall trustworthiness of Onpassive is a matter of concern. It's recommended to thoroughly evaluate the content and take necessary precautions to ensure a secure online experience when you are engaging with this site. And as you can see, there is a suspicious website warning. I'm gonna get millions of followers by using Onpassive products, Albs, and then my channel's gonna blow up. Okay? All right, you don't know what's about to happen here. Onpassive has got me, remember? Oh Lord, Joe, why are you doing that to us? Why would you even mention such a thing? That's enough not to trust Onpassive. I mean, yeah, that would do it. You should find one of those fake review websites that Ash set up to see what they say about Onpassive. There are like hardly any of them left. I think most of them got shut down. But yeah, as you can see, it does say, hey, this is a suspicious website. And it's through the company GoDaddy. All right? GoDaddy. Which means that obviously they don't have their own data centers, which we'll be getting into more so in a minute. This is another site, and this is OTrim. So this is how safe OTrim is. All right, so 6 out of 93 security vendors are flagging this domain as malicious. Again, it says GoDaddy, registered 3 years ago. GoDaddy right there. So as you can see, it's malicious. Now, these ones that say it's clean, I would argue that they just don't know Onpassive yet. You know, no one's used those sites to check Onpassive yet. So, but this is for OTrim, the URL shortener, which we are going to be talking about quite a bit this next week and today. But, so OTrim specifically is also not safe. So I wouldn't go putting your website into OTrim. This here is a hype stat, and it talks about how busy the website is. All right, you know how they say they have millions and millions of people going to their website every day? I'm sure you're wondering how true that is, right? Sherry, happy 66th anniversary to your parents. even though he passed away, it's still the anniversary. All right. It's still to be celebrated. I would totally be celebrating if I was your mom, because they would still be married if he didn't pass away. I'm sorry for your loss. Yep, go daddy. But Ash said it's safe, so like, shouldn't it be safe? NordVPN flags it as malicious. Interesting. That's good to know. I don't use that one, so that's actually really good. We want it to do that. It's right to do that, based on everything that we've been finding out about it, you know? We might be able to meet Earl, you know? Marianne and Juana were the best of friends. No, I won't do the whole song and ruin your ears like that. But here it says that Onpassive, the domain, onpassive.com, the main website, the place that you have to go to in order to log in and use all the products, by the way. So, you know, it's the best gauge of the users, in my opinion. And it says here that it is ranked 109,666 globally on Hypestat. All right. 0.0005504% of global internet users visit Onpassive. Okay, so they also say that the estimated value of the onpassive.com domain, it's actually higher than I thought it would be, so I'll give them that. But it's definitely not millions. So when you're calling this a unicorn company, this is information that you would need to know about whether, you know, like whether or not it's worth anything. And as you can see, the estimated value of the domain is $395,513.27. Now, it says it has servers located in Ashburn, Virginia. That's where GoDaddy's servers are located. That's where actually a lot of the servers are located there. They have like a whole hub over there. And again, it's going to kind of show that. Now, as you can see, a lot of the stuff that they're using are not their own. That's what this tells me. Which isn't great when they say that everything's built from scratch. And then you look up the technologies that they use, and it's very obvious they're using other people's technologies, which I would be okay. By the way, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I'm sure other companies do this as well, but other companies don't pretend that they're not doing it while they're doing it. Okay, that's the issue. The issue is with the transparency, the ethics, with Ash lying and claiming that they are doing every single step of this from scratch. Everything's run with their own AI. But as you can see, they're using other people's stuff, you know? So, like, yeah, we know that they're using the Google plugins for OConnect, and they've been very open about that in open source code. But just to see this is kind of nice. You know, to kind of be able to say, look, this is what they're using. For their tag managers, they're using a Google tag manager. It's not even their own. Their blogs and their whole, it's WordPress stuff. All right? They're using Amazon Web Services. So again, that's like GoDaddy also does, by the way. But that's theirs. Like, it's not Onpassive data centers, right? Not at all. So where is Media Soup? I don't know. You just Googled GoDaddy and malware. Google is outdated, according to Derek, right? Well, then he might want to not be a part of Onpassive because they use a lot of Google. That's what this is. A lot of Google, a lot of Amazon. Okay. And this is what I mean. I wouldn't have a problem. Okay. I don't have a problem with companies utilizing open source or other companies' plugins and shit. Like, that's what they're there for. All right, I know this. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not like, shame on you, you have to use other stuff. That's not what we're doing. What it is that Onpassive claims that they don't use other stuff, right? And they're lying. Just don't lie. And it's it's iffy because it's like they say we have our own data centers, we've built them, everything's from scratch, we're doing it all, it's our AI, and it's like, no, look, it really isn't though. So this was kind of nice to see because I know that I've checked like all of these things separately. And I've talked a lot about it. I've told you guys, hey, they're not even using their own AI. Hey, they're using Amazon. They're using GoDaddy. Like, I've said it. So I just like to also show it to you so that now you see it for yourself on the screen. So that you know, I'm not just saying this, okay? I'm not just coming out here and going, I don't like Onpassive, and Ash is an asshole, and Marty probably farts a lot in that chair, and Chris can't see, fuck them, and then making up things. That's not what's happening. Every single thing that I say, I have proof for. All right? And if it's my opinion, I'll tell you it's my opinion. I'll say, in my opinion, or I think. And I'll be very, very vocal about the fact that it's what I'm saying and what I think and not the facts, you know? So, this was nice to see. This kind of shows you guys, you know, there you go. You use it all you want. Feel free to screenshot this on my screen, pass it around, you know, go nuts. And this here is the traffic analysis. Okay, so they keep saying that their site's going up and that it's getting millions of users. Again, this is their main website, onpassive.com, the full domain. And you have to go to onpassive.com. Most people do go to it in order to get to the Onpassive ecosystem, in order to get to a lot of the products, unless you are just using OConnect and you've downloaded the app, right? Then you're using the website. So it's not just like people hear of Onpassive and go check out the website. You also have to think it's also the people in Onpassive using the website and the products. So it gives us a good kind of feel for like who's back there doing stuff. You know, are there people visiting? And it says that daily there's about 27,000 people. And that's down 37% from previous months. Monthly visits, 822,000, which sounds like a lot. But remember, allegedly, even Derek said the other day, there's supposed to be 1.4 million people in this company. So you would think that if they're all going to the website to read up on things, because you have to also go there to get to the blog, by the way, which we're going to read something from today that I found quite funny. You have to use the website. So these numbers are low for what they're claiming. And if you think of the number of O-founders that they claim that they have signed up and active in this, these numbers are kind of low. Like, that means that not even everyone in Onpassive is checking the website once a month, which to me seems low, you know, like think that they would all be going there several times, so the number would be higher. Pages per visit, again, it's 4.5, because like I said, I feel like that's very much people going there to use the OES, right? You have to go to onpassive.com and then click on login to get into the ecosystem. A lot of people have to do this as well, again, unless you download this app. And so I feel like that's a lot of that. As I've said in the past, every time you click on something from the back office, it opens up a new tab. And so I'm assuming that that would have something to do with it. Like, that's why that number is at 4.5, you know? Now, the visit duration is interesting. It's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So I find that interesting. And it says that the bounce rate is up 59%. But it just kind of gives you a look at, where they are, visitors by country. And over these last 3 months, in February, they had 1.3 million. In March, 1.1 million. And in April, 822,000. Right? And this isn't as high as I thought it would be. It says 25% of them are US. I personally thought it would be like 50 or above based on like the webinars that we react to. Maybe it's just us over here because we're English. So to us, it seems like there's like a lot of people in the US in this company. And like in Canada, the UK. But I was surprised. I thought there'd be a lot more people in the US. But then you can kind of see like India, Slovenia. I can't even say that word properly. I'm so sorry. Portugal and Switzerland. So it's like that's where they pray. Those are the places they pray on. They're using an Apache server hosted on Amazon AWS. Yes. They are using WordPress, yeah. And I've said that in the past, but I didn't have any like direct proof of it. So it's kind of nice to be like, there you go, guys. It says WordPress. And that's why, like, when they do their little website updates, it's even funnier, honestly, when you know that. To be like, oh my God, the colors changed and they added this in. And you're over here like, oh yeah, WordPress is a great program, Red. You should check it out sometime. Like, it's just kind of funny. Alp says, I went there, one page, clicked on the OES, one page, clicked on OConnect, one page, clicked on Roblin Live, one page. And after 45 seconds, I unalived myself. And that explains the stats perfectly. I mean, pretty much, yeah. And that's the thing is that in order to use the stupid OES, you already have to click on 3 pages. So it looks like every time someone goes to the website, they're going to click on at least 3 pages. I just feel like you need to know that information. Because when stats work, you also need to know like kind of like the context of why are they clicking? Why are the stats this way? It's good to know. And I feel like that really does have something to do with it. Like if everything was just on the Onpassive, like it would be like one page, But like I said, just to log into the OES, 3 pages right there every time. So they've kind of manipulated it that way. I wonder if that's why they won't fix all the tabs that open. Maybe they've realized this and they're like, haha, that kind of makes it look more successful than it is. I'm just going to keep it like that, You got to wonder. You just caught up. The intro song was Fire, Fire, Fire. That is a next level production. That's what we call that here. They have Bill Musk Productions. And now we all have next level production, which makes me kind of happy. I'm like, look at us go. See, we can be like Onpassive. And next level says, Derek is delusional. We can't save all these people from Onpassive, but that's how everyone is thinking, like similar to Derek.
Yo, listen up. I'm here to expose the fraud.
Sorry, I didn't have it. I had to, take a minute to load it. The issue is we are not going to save everyone from this. There are always going to be people that are going to be loyal to Ash, and that's part of the issue here, is that it's not about the products, it's not about the profit, it's literally about loyalty to Ash. That's why it's culty. So unfortunately, when you're doing this, you just got to kind of know you're not going to save everyone. But when I was getting into social work, my whole family's in social work. My grandma started group homes in Montreal for the mentally handicapped. The first one was called the Gary Taylor Group Home back in the 50s. All right. My family are like pioneers in working with people with disabilities. When I got into social work, my grandma said something to me that really, really stuck with me. And she said, you know, you're going to want to save the world, but just know if you could just save one person's life, the impact that you'll have on the world. And that always stuck with me. So I kind of look at this as, we're not going to save everyone from this, but if we just save one family and save their generational wealth, that is doing a lot, you know? That's making some kind of indent in the world, doing some kind of good somewhere, and then that will trickle out. It's like dominoes. You know, just like you do a lot of harm and then the harm harms a lot of people. Same thing happens with good. You do good, hopefully it expands. The good expands. So that's what you got to hope for when you're covering things like this, because it just kind of sucks. You're not going to be able to save everyone. People have to save themselves. That's the reality of everything in life. You can try to help anyone and anything, and they're not going to get help till they want to save themselves. But you can do everything in your power. And then, like I said, you save one person and you are doing something good for the world. So there's that. I like it, Violet. It stuck with me. It's one of those things where your family gives you some knowledge and then just stays with you forever. What do the kids think about stacking the cool? They're probably like, what the fuck does that mean? Never even heard that before. Mark says, hey, how are all you Ocoin millionaires living the dream? I'm with grandkids, but they're not interested in an Onpassive legacy. What do they know? I know. Did you explain to them about the generational wealth? It didn't work. They weren't like, yeah, no, I need to get into it for that. Then they're probably like, we need to get Grandpa some help. He's talking to us about pyramid schemes. All right? The grandkids are not around 1 year old, but they're already telling me there's a whole life outside of non-massive. I guess they just don't understand. Because the way Derek reacted and seeing how much Onpassive is inside him, it's gonna look really bad when it hits people that no one is going to get paid. It is. It is. It's gonna be pretty upsetting. Do you think that Ash is a part of the Freemasons or the Illuminati? Notice him doing hand signs sometimes? No. And if you ask me, the Illuminati is actually Scientology. We can get into that in future. And Ash is not a part of Scientology. Danny Masterson was, though. And he's not a Mason. I don't think he's a part of the Freemasons because he wouldn't be. They wouldn't accept him. Let's just leave it at that. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to show you guys with this. It was mainly about the traffic. They talk about daily earnings, actually. Maybe we should look at that. The United States, he makes about $150 a day off of them going to the website. So Ash is probably making money off of this website. You know, that's probably good to know. But it's not as much as you would think he would be making based on how he talks about this. It says here that it would make about $411 a day. It's just an interesting report. But yeah, as you can see, it says the ISP is Amazon.com. It gives you the actual server IP and the location. Like I said, in Ashburn, Virginia is like an entire area of data centers. Apparently it's where like most of the data centers are. So apparently I'm a Freemason. Oh, sorry. Ash would never accept any money. He is selfless. Right? I haven't done one on the Freemasons before. It's on the list along with Aleister Crowley, and we got to get into Scientology again. Yeah, so basically all you need to know is they're lying about their traffic. And again, they're lying about the data centers. Because as you can see, here's another website, all right, that is showing you that it's Onpassive, the domain. It tells you the register, and then it says the server is GoDaddy. So obviously they're using GoDaddy. Like every single site is like, yes, they are using this. This is something that you should know. So I find that quite interesting. That's sort of it in terms of the websites. And now I just want to take a minute because I don't remember if I brought this up on my channel recently or not. But Onpassive no longer has an office in Singapore. So the recovering Hunbot did a bunch of digging and had found that on May 6th of 2024, their office was actually struck down. And what interested me about this, other than the fact that they no longer have an office there, okay, is they say they're information technology consultancy, except cyber security. And that's weird because it's not consultancies. So I felt like that was bizarre. $411 divided by 800,000 founders. Bonus time. Did he sell his soul for the millions he stole? Unless it was to the salon and spa, probably not. Violet says, they make it so easy to catch them out in their lies, like shooting fish in a barrel. They lie about stupid things. It's like, just don't lie about. Like, don't pretend like you have data centers and you're running everything on your own if you're not. Very simple. It's easy to look into and figure out. So I was like, why are you lying? It's all going into the company car, company penthouse, company champagne, company dinners at fancy restaurants, company salon and spa, you know. Maybe you can auction off his skin tag. Maybe. Red compared Onpassive to Apple and Nvidia today, telling founders to learn more about Onpassive's competitors. Why? We were promised a passive income for our investments. Yeah, I wasn't told I had to do any research unless it was on the onpassive.com website. Even Derek told me that we weren't actually allowed to do any research about Onpassive unless it's from the onpassive.com website. So unless they post about competitors on the onpassive.com website, I don't know how we're ever going to learn about them. Sorry, Red. Like, I don't know. So, but consultancy, this word right here is very important because to me, if they are an information technology company, they wouldn't put consultancy. I feel like consultancy is there because it's a consultant. My dad is a chemist and he's doing consulting since his retirement. That's how he would list his job. Okay, he would be like, I am a consultant of chemistry and building automobiles with aluminum. I don't know what it's called. I just know what he did. I don't know what it's called. He worked at the aluminum company. So he'll consult there. And that's like how he would have put it. And then it also says, except cyber security, which was interesting to me. Because they keep going on about how they're secure and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, but you even say here, you're not even doing cybersecurity. So, and then when you scroll down here, it says, Secondary activity, other information technology and computer service activities. Example, disaster recovery services. And I'm like, that's interesting. And then it says issued share capital. And I was like, but I thought that Onpassive doesn't have any of those. So that's a bit confusing to me. Because it says that it has 1,000 shares in Singapore dollars. So were they in the stock market in Singapore? Is that what that means? What does that mean? And then it goes into the business profile. And there are 2 directors. So one of them is Thomas Chia Zhang, or I'm sorry, I'm not going to say that right. And the other one, that's not Ash Mufareh, you see. That's his wife. So now I'm like, oh, I see. He was trying to backtrack. You see, Ash got in trouble because his wife wasn't actually in the company. So now I'm wondering if this Singapore office was just a front so that when he transfers the next $108 million into his wife's account, he can literally be like, look, she's the director of the Singapore office. And then the SEC, like they did last time, they're not going to be like, sir, your wife isn't working for the company. There's no reason for you to transfer, especially this amount of money, into her account. She doesn't have a salary or anything. Like that was kind of how they knew that he stole all that money. Was he transferred $108 million right into his wife's account. And she wasn't on anything as like a director. She wasn't like a secondary CEO. She wasn't in the finances. She wasn't the secretary. She was nothing. So I found it very interesting to find out that she was actually the director of the office in Singapore, not Ashraf Mufareh. As Mahan is his wife. Ashraf is him. He's not on here at all. He's not listed. So I found that to be interesting. And then you come down here and you realize that all 1,000 of the shares were in his wife's name. So they created 1,000 shares in Singapore and then they put them all in his wife's name. Seems a little interesting, a little sus, especially since this office didn't last very long. I'm just saying. Things seem a little weird over here. And yeah, I think that's it. That's it. So I find that interesting. And I think that Onpassive should know that they no longer have a Singapore office as of the beginning of May. Which is interesting because that's right around the time that they took the websites off of the, I'm like, maybe they did that where they took all the websites off because like we thought they were going to start removing offices, So I'm like, it's interesting. They take all of the offices off the website. They're like, we're not going to list them anymore. There's not enough room. And then he was all like, oh, people came there. So we had to remove them. Remember, it switched. And yeah, now here we are. And there isn't even this office. But he's still acting like it's there. So I'm like, okay, I guess you can play pretend. We can pretend that it's there. I guess that's fun for all. I guess. So I just wanted to make sure I went through that. And then there was Salami Nugget in my Discord today. And he posted up a picture that is going to give me nightmares. It will give me nightmares. I'm scared. Okay? You ready for this? It's I don't even know how to describe this thing to you. This ad. We are unique. If I ever saw a peacock like this, I am running. All right? This peacock looks like something out of a child's nightmare. Like your parents tell you to eat your broccoli and you really don't want to eat your broccoli. And they do it every night for dinner for like a week, you know? So that at the end of that week, you go to sleep as a kid and you dream about this crazy broccoli. I don't know what else is supposed to be there. Cauliflower, salad, fucking peacock. Just chasing you. Just chasing you. Going, I told you to eat your broccoli. You know? I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is that thing? That looks like something I would have had in a nightmare as a kid. No, thank you. Like, whoo. It was very, very scary. I haven't seen an ad like that in a while. Like, their last one was creepy, but... And the thing about this ad, too, is, as I'm sure you're all very well aware, this is made with AI. So, like, obviously, this isn't a real peacock. I know, I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know. I bet you Jelly Snack wanted to have it as a pet. She was like, I'm going to get one. He's cute, you know? But no, it's not real. It's not real. Joe agrees with me. That is a child's nightmare. See? Alp says, well, maybe you just should eat your veggies, okay? Is it a peacock made? Oh, God. Out of Ash's skin tanks? That would have been so much worse. But at the same time, I would have been just as surprised. Like, I don't think that would have been... That's how corrupt this thing is. I would be like, yeah, no, that's about right. Yeah, they would make one of those. And then they would get a statue of it and put it on their mantle, facing the west. And then they would pray to it every day, you know? I'm waiting for that to happen. So, this is AI. And why this bothers me, other than it's a horrifying fucking veggie bird, all right? Like, this is what Mr. Vegan was going to turn into if he kept going, you know? So, it's AI, and the point of them putting this out is you're supposed to think that it's Onpassive AI. It's not. Onpassive does not have AI technology like Microsoft Bing, like ChatGPT, like, oh God, there's like 20 of the new AIs out here that are doing the imaging. And I can't think of any. Put some in the chat if you think of any. But there's a lot of programs out here right now where you can just go in and you can say, I don't know why you would ask to see this, but I want to see a peacock made out of vegetables with a very horrified little girl petting its beak. And then it will create the picture for you. You know? Jelly, where have you been? Jelly says, unfortunately, this isn't the first broccoli cabbage AI I've seen. And I'm like, where are you hanging out? Where are you hanging out that people are posting food porn like that everywhere? Brassica. We named it. It has a name. Dally, there you go. Right? Like, you can go to them and you can be like, this is what I want a picture of. AI makes the picture for you. That's what they did. They used another company's program, like Dally, right? And they used that program to make this peacock thing. And then they just put on the We Are Unique and then the O Founders and Onpassive logo. But what bothers me is, again, it's like false advertising. They put this out. They expect most of the people in Onpassive to not realize that it isn't Onpassive that made that picture. So to me, that's iffy, you know? So I just, so scary looking. I need to get it off my screen. Like, this is a fucking scary thing. The longer you look at it, the crazier it gets somehow. But a good way to know if something's AI, obviously, is if it's like, you know, it looks like this. You're like, yeah, no, only AI would make something like this. My goodness. But it's not Onpassive AI, and that bothers me, because all Onpassive does out here is puts out these ads, okay? Let me show you an example of one of Marty DeGarmo's fucking ads. He puts out like 10 a day. All right? Like, just several a day. And it just bothers me. This one's called Be a Servant, so it's extra cringe.
On being a leader, focus on serving others, and lifting them to the stars. This is Onpassive.
And I'm like, okay, but who are those kids? And like, when did Ash help a bunch of children? And it's just like false advertising. Who has Ash served other than himself? Anyone? Like really though, like what has he done for anyone out here? All right. He used to send people like a phone or a laptop to be like, thank you for joining my scam. And he hasn't even done that in a long time. He hasn't even paid Marty and Chris $8,000 in super chats in a while. So I'm kind of like, this is fucking weird and cringe. But it's like, oh, look at this thing that Ash does. He's not a servant. Who are you supposed to be a servant for? And then there's ones like this. This is one that is about O Tracker, which we've recently done a little deep dive on. And it's literally called Why Await Tomorrow's Data? Hashtag O Tracker provides real-time analytics for immediate decision making. That's the title. I know it's long.
Until tomorrow's data. O-Tracker provides real-time insights that enable you to make impactful decisions immediately.
But it doesn't, because like I showed you guys, you can't use a lot of the stuff on it. Remember?
Get your 7-day free trial of O-Tracker. Simply register at www.coolzone.ai.
And see, and that's another one by Marty, where you're just like, Marty, it doesn't even do
Why
that.
delay until tomorrow's data?
Maybe because no one can even join Onpassive right now. Marty, why are you releasing fucking ads? I don't get it. I'm like, no one's joining. Like, you can't even pay for it. Like I said to Derek the other day, I can't take my debit card or a credit card or a Google Play card, I don't know, go in and buy the product. This one's going to be costing money, and I can't even tell you how much it costs. They just don't have a price tag on it. I showed you guys this past week. They're just like, yeah, no, future price coming soon. You're like, can we know? So it's like he keeps putting out these ads, and it's like, oh, O-Tracker can do this, O-Tracker can do that. Like I showed you guys, it doesn't do any of this.
O-Tracker provides real-time insights that enable you to
Oh.
make impactful.
That's a lie as well, because as I proved to you guys this past week, they say it's real-time insights on the fucking website, right? And then right afterwards, they literally say there is a 10-minute wait period. A 10-minute delay. Bitch, that's not real time. That means 10 minutes later. Okay, real time is in the fucking moment. Like maybe a minute at the most behind, you know? I was so mad. They were like, real time, real time, real time. There's a 10-minute delay, though. That's not real time. So every time it says real time, I'm like, no, that's a lie. Don't listen.
Decisions immediately. Get your 7-day free trial of O-Tracker.
What? Can't do anything with it? Can't do anything with it. I showed you guys. Go check out my short video on it after this if you haven't seen. You literally can't do a thing. It's like, sorry, you have to get the paid version of the product. Oh, but we're not selling that yet. We're not going to tell you how much it costs, and there's no way to get it. Good luck to you. Hope you enjoy using O-Tracker today. So I don't understand. How can you put a video together? Because you haven't been able to use it. There's no way Marty's using it, and then I'm not able to use it. Okay, he would have the same access to it as I do. So I'm kind of like, why lie? If you're not able to ensure that the product does these things, you probably shouldn't be out here claiming that it does things. Like, has Marty even been back there trying to track a link with it? Because then he would know that it's actually not in real time. It's 10 minutes later. And then he would know that until you get the premium version, which isn't available yet, you can't do anything in the free trial. And honestly, I don't even know if this free trial version is working. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's broken. So I'm just like, come on, Marty.
Simply register at www.coolzone.ai.
And then, of course, he just slaps his little coolzone.ai, which, again, you cannot register at right now. You can't register there. So what's the point? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Mark says, Marty had an advert promoting Onpassive using Arthur Ashe, yep, the tennis player. I'm a keen tennis player and found it hilarious. I have no idea what the similarity between Ashe and Onpassive is supposed to be. He keeps using like inspirational quotes of people. All right, Helen Keller was one once. That was not good. And like people that probably would not want anything to do with it. I'm just saying. Or Onpassive. I'm just saying. And I'll be like, oh, here's this person's inspirational quote. They're a really cool person. This is what they're famous for. All right, now buy Onpassive today. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with tennis. It has nothing to do with Arthur. Like, I don't, like, why are you here? You know, like, what are you doing? And that's what I mean. That's what, like, most of his ads are. And I'm like, this is such false advertising. And sometimes I really do hope that the family members of some of these people that he's using in his ads would be like, can you not use my family member in your ad, please? And thank you. You know? If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Why settle for soon when you can settle for never? I'm so much better. You're curious how Derek managed to have 5 out of 100 people buy OConnect if nobody can buy it. Sounds like bullshit. Well, they were able to back in September. So just before September, they had secured a crappy merchant and basically had accepted several payments for OConnect. While they were accepting those payments, I think is when the merchant kind of got suspicious. And then the merchant was like, yo, you're having a lot of these payments coming through all of a sudden. We're going to need a security deposit. And then Ashe was like, I'm going to sue you. So there was a time when they were able to. Then it became you got to buy it, but you could only do it in a certain window. And like they were only able to buy it for like a week or two. It wasn't a long time. It wasn't like months and months that it was for sale and people were coming in and buying. No, it was like, hey guys, it's going for sale in September. A couple weeks went by where it was going like it seemed like they were selling some. Bunch of people were buying it allegedly. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, we're having a problem with the merchant. I guess people were asking for cash back, like refunds and stuff. Something was going on. And so then it was, now we have a window. So then for like a few weeks, it was try to buy it in this window of like 2 minutes, 3 times a day. Good luck to you. So, you know, maybe 1 or 2 people were able to buy it at that time. But then ever since, it would be ever since about December, it would have been December. End of November, early December is really when the payment merchant started to have issues. So come then, because it became time to pay everyone before Christmas. I was saying that might have had something to do with it. Come then, you couldn't buy it anymore. And then, since the payment issues with the merchant started in like beginning of December, haven't been able to buy it since. That's when a lot of the banks had come out too, like the Indian Bank. There was another bank. Sorry, I don't remember right now off the top of my head. That also was like, this is iffy. Somebody had claimed that they tried to get Onpassive and their bank had called them up directly and was like, this is a scam. I'm going to tell you not to purchase this. And the person had to like argue their bank to let them purchase the OConnect. Things like that was happening, right? So Ashe has gone through, I think 3 merchants by now, basically trying to run the same thing. And all of them eventually ask him for the deposit. And that's when he gets mad. And he doesn't want them to hold any of the money or have a deposit. And then he either tells them to go fuck themselves, it seems, or he took one to court. So now you haven't been able to buy it for months. Since early December, end of November. I mean, you could barely buy it before that. Like I said, they had that weird payment window, and you were like, it was so bizarre. People were like, oh, I just purchased it. If you go right now, you could do it. And then 5 minutes later, someone would go try and it wouldn't work. Like, it was so bizarre. I've never even, like, had that happen before. Never seen a company deal with things like this so much. None of the third-party high-risk merchants would fuck with him. Probably not. And we're at the point now where even the grimy ones don't want to deal with him because the ones he went to weren't exactly top-notch. Let's just say that. They're on the lower end. And even they're like, no, we think you're running a scam and we can't trust you. So it's not going too well for him. So it's possible that Derek could have had 100 people underneath him at some point, I guess, if the teams that they were building stayed. And maybe 5 people did buy O Connect. The thing that Derek isn't thinking about, though, is that that's just going to pay for his next O Connect payment. It's not going to pay for anything else. And he's not making any income off of that then. You need to sell it to 5 people basically every month in order to ensure that you don't have to pay for it. You know? Yeah, your brother-in-law is entrenched in this, and it's strange to believe he's not unintelligent, just naive, perhaps. It's the hope in the dreams. People that can dream big and have high hope maybe put their trust in someone they don't know to make their dreams come true. I think a bunch of them tried to run stolen cards they got off the dark web because Ash said they would be able to cash out instantly. So they figured they could get the money out before anyone noticed. There was something else going on with that too. There was like a bunch of stuff going on that obviously made him flagged in the system. I feel like that he got flagged in the system and then everyone knows. We thought that he was running his money grab in September, but Ash messed that up too. That's basically what happens, right? It's like he fucks everything up at every turn. I don't understand. When nobody could pay, credit cards were issuing warnings and not allowing anyone to pay. Yeah, banks were calling people. Don't forget that one of the merchants charges an unexpected fee on the payments. Yeah, that was the one in Mexico, I believe, that was charging. It was like $7 per like payment, and then you also had to pay like $15 or $20 down or something ridiculous. It was something like that. For like every fucking $20 you spent, you had to pay an extra like $2 fee on top of it too. Like there was a bunch of stuff with that one. And so when that one went down, I think that might have been the one he sued. I'm wondering which one it was, but I'm thinking it was probably the one in Mexico that had these fees. And unfortunately out there, they have different rules and regulations. Like here in Canada, we have rules and regulations in terms of borrowing money and what fees like places can charge for things like that, and the merchants can charge. In the US, I'm sure you guys also have regulations and a cap on it, you know, but in a lot of other places, they don't have one. Or if they do, it's, you know, you can still charge some crazy fucking fee for it, you know? I think it was $14 total just fees. Yeah. Yeah, and then there was something else where after you spent so much, then you had to pay so much per so much. And there was a lot going on with that. It was iffy. Ash is incredible, Mark says. Not as an entrepreneur, as the founders believe, but as a total failure. He had this scam on a plate and still messed up, right? It is fascinating. So there's one more ad that I want to show you, and then we'll have a commercial break because you guys seem to like that. And then I want to read to you guys from the blog, because I have to also vent about something to do with their blog that really pissed me off today. And then we'll hear what, good old Mr. Mike Ellis, by the way, has to say.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Because this was an interesting video that came up just in the last couple weeks. It is called EKYC, another Onpassive stream of income for affiliates, and it's a John White and Bill Must production.
EKYC, Electronic Know Your Customer. EKYC, Electronic Know Your Customer, is the automated process through which companies can perform customer identity verification digitally.
So I'm thinking that this is going to be about Verify, as I'm sure you are as well, right? Yolanda's also a head bimbo. She's so humble, she won't even joke about being ahead of something. I told her to put head bimbo too. I was like, be a head bimbo, the Sarah's and Nate. I was like, you and I have the same title, girl. But she's so humble. She's like, I don't want to call myself the head of anything. Even as a joke, she's like, she's all humble and stuff. Such mega bullshit. This one made you laugh. This one made me laugh. I was like, what the fuck is this? You can't wait for the Netflix documentary. And then we can find out exactly what happened. It's true. It's true. We'll find out. Just hopefully they come and interview me and Alonda.
EKYC is an alternative to the traditional process that required physical documents.
We know! Sorry. It pisses me off because I'm like, you've been talking about Verify out here for ages, okay? And now you're bringing up EKYC. Like, the fuck? Hello, Wes. Good to see you. This is such a Bill Must vibe, right?
Onboarding rules and regulations for businesses have evolved significantly in recent years.
Yeah, and Ash doesn't want to follow any of them.
How big is the EKYC industry? According to Facts and Factors, the global EKYC market size was worth around $1,571.12 billion in 2021 and is predicted to grow to around $27.92 billion by 2030 with a compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of roughly 21.55% between 2023 and 2030.
And we're doing it again. I hate this. This is how they think of their business. They look at an industry, right? Like this industry, the EKYC industry, let's call it. And they go, this is how this industry is doing. Therefore, if we make a product like that, we're automatically going to do that well. And that's how they think of it. And it's like, that's not how it works.
In layman's term, $1,571.12 billion US is $1.571 trillion US.
No. I'm sorry. Can maybe just do that? Let's just go over that one again. I'm a little bit like, what did you just say?
5% between 2023 and 2030.
What?
In layman's term, $1,571.12 billion US is $1.571 trillion US.
No, sweetie, that's not how that works. $571.12 billion US is $571.12 billion US. Like that's it. What are we doing here? What the fuck was that?
Does that get your attention? What is an example of EK?
I mean, yeah, it did. I had to go back and hear it again because I was like, why are we even doing this? It's just so silly.
YC. For For example, if someone were to apply for a personal loan, a financial institution can use an EKYC solution during customer onboarding to ensure the applicant is who they claim to be. This not only satisfies
And again, I have to wonder about all of those accounts that they told people to open up. Just saying.
KYC compliance but also protects against identity fraud. What are the 3 dimensions of KYC? This is often referred to as the 3 components or pillars of KYC, and involves Customer Identification Program, CIP, Customer Due Diligence, CDD, ongoing monitoring. What are the 4 pillars of KYC? The 4 pillars, or 4 KYC elements, that banks and financial institutions look at when setting up their KYC programs are the Customer Acceptance Policies and Procedures, Customer Identification Program and Customer Due Diligence, Risk Management, and Ongoing Monitoring. What are the 5 stages of KYC? The 5 stages of KYC, Customer Identification, Customer Due Diligence, Risk Assessment, Ongoing Monitoring, and Reporting Suspicious Activities, are essential to ensure compliance with regulatory requirements.
Which Ash does not want to do. He's been very open and honest about that. Comes out here, he says, I'm doing a new way of business where you run your business on love, not on profits and the money it makes, and everyone just all of a sudden becomes a millionaire, even if they don't sell any products. And these damn rules and regulations and laws, okay, they just keep trying to stop me because they know that I'll take over the world and then everyone in the world will be a billionaire. So now we're worried about the laws and regulations?
What are the 3 tiers of KYC? Tier 1 accounts allow you daily transactions of N50,000, yes, inflow and outflow, and the account can hold a total of N300,000. Tier 2.
Nobody knows what that means. Like nobody in Onpassive watching this video is going to be like, I know exactly what that means. Thank you for letting me know. All right, I love it.
Accounts allow you daily transactions of N200,000, that's both inflow and outflow, and the account can hold a total of N500,000. A Tier 3 account is the best place to be. Who needs to do KYC? From sources across the web. Banking. Real estate. E-commerce. Credit unions. Cryptocurrency. Gaming and gambling.
And I'm like, okay, so is this just a general video explaining to us what an EKYC is?
Fintech companies. Any company, including banks, insurance companies, and credit.
You just told us. Thank you for, again, telling us.
Creditors with exposure to client risk must develop a KYC strategy for engaging with customers. Who are high-risk customers in KYC?
Probably people that transfer $108 million into their wife's account to buy some crypto and go to the salon and spa.
These customers might include politically exposed persons, PEPs, those with high net worth, or individuals and entities operating in regions known for heightened risk of money laundering and terrorism financing. Understanding the distinction between EDD and standard KYC is crucial. A single KYC verification can cost between $13 and upward of $130.
Okay.
How much does KYC cost? A single KYC verification can cost between $13 and upward of $130.
So, hold on a minute. Does that mean that you're going to start to charge people in Onpassive that are O-founders for the KYC? And then they'll be able to sell a KYC? Do they know that they're going to have to pay to basically be verified in the company that they paid to join?
KYC processes in banking cost the average bank $60 million per year. When to fill the KYC form? You should fill the KYC form when you are opening a new bank account, or if there is any change to your personal details such as name or proof of address.
Could you guys imagine a bank using this like from Onpassive? I just need to know. Like, could you imagine? What would you do if you went to your bank and they were like, all right, we just need to get through this KYC. And then all of a sudden, like, Verify popped up. Would you go to a new bank? The due diligence module, if working, would highly recommend against Onpassive, right? I mean, The KYC would be like, I'm sorry, this is a scam. Bill must show yourself. We'll have to show Bill Must one day.
The process of filling out and verifying these documents can cost anywhere from $100 to $1,000.
That's right, Bill Must. I mean, I'm sorry. You tried to copyright me. I disputed it. So you did have to give me your real name.
Depending on how much information needs to be verified. KYC verification
That's why you shouldn't copyright me. Just say.
will depend on the company's customer risk assessment. The process can be time-consuming and costly, but it's worth doing KYC verification so
Okay, so costly, time-consuming, all things that Onpassive is allegedly against. But okay.
you know your customer is legitimate. Don't skip KYC verification. Yes, the KYC verification process is mandatory for the customer onboarding process.
Thomas says Freemasons are only men in Canada. Yeah, I don't think women can be Freemasons. Queen, is there something you want to tell us? Can they be Freemasons in the US? Because I remember Bells of Nevermore tried to like threaten me and claim that she was a part of the Freemasons. But you know, there's a lot of things that that lady claimed. But I always wondered about that because like I know here, like I do know somebody whose family was involved with Freemasons. So my knowledge is based on the very little that they allow the people that know them to know about them. But we had a legion that was only for Freemasons. And her family used to be able to go there. You can only go there if you're a Freemason. So obviously they were entangled with the Freemasons. But it was my understanding that men are the only ones that can join Freemasonry. So I've always been a little confused about that. If you're in the US and you know anything about that, let me know. Bill Must might just be a pseudonym for Ash's creative alter ego. Nobody has ever seen Must. John White definitely lies, so he would easily take money from Ash to keep it a secret. I wondered if it was John White, but I did get a different name. So I am going to try to look into it more, and I have been. And once I confirm the information, and if I can prove for sure that the person is Bill Must, then I might let you know. So Freemasonry. Oh, sorry. Was that the same damn fucking comment? So it did work. It's very patriarchal. So you doubt women are allowed. See, like, yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if you were. You're allowed to go to like the Legion. Like if your husband or your father is a Freemason, they can like take you in there, you know? But other than that, like I ended up in their Legion once because I was going with my friend and her parent when I was like younger. We just had to run in there and ask her dad a question. He was in there. And like we were allowed to go in and stuff because like her dad was in there. But other than that, I don't know. I'm not really sure. They do have female Masons? Maybe. There's a female Mason Lodge? No such person? Possibly. There are female Freemasons and they have been meeting for over 100 years. The roots of women's Freemasonry can be traced back to France in 1882. Yeah, all right, that would actually make some sense.
Of all financial institutions and other companies who want to offer their services.
I just don't see any other financial institutions or companies getting this from Onpassive.
It helps customers by preventing fraud and businesses participating in money.
Okay, what if the business is the fraud? Then what? Because that's the problem here.
Laundering, ensuring that they are legitimate, which improves service quality, reduces costs and saves time. The cost of the procedure depends on how much information needs to be verified, but it's worth doing KYC verification so you know your customer is legitimate. Breaking news. The giant technology company Onpassive has completed its own Verify system incorporating EKYC. This brings Onpassive into the KYC industry.
So, Verify then. It's about to be released. right? I mean, John White and Bill Musk are saying so. So surely Ash Mufareh has let them know that he is definitely about to release the O-Verify. Because there's no way that they would have done this entire presentation unless they knew for sure. Right?
The difference is that Onpassive is marketing this technology to any industry that wants the most sophisticated EKYC system and reduced cost for its customers in this industry. The super excited thing about this is that Mr. Ash Mufareh recently stated publicly that this will be another stream of income for all its affiliates.
Oh, so it's just because he said something publicly? Like Ash Mufareh comes out here and says, yeah, guys, so I created a new toilet. It's going to be a stream of income for all the new affiliates. And then you will do an entire video describing to us what a toilet is and what it's used for and how everyone poops. And then you'll tell us that it will be a stream of income for us. Like, that's all it takes is just Ash Mufareh saying it.
If you have read what we have given you about how massively profitable the industry is, how can you not want to be an Onpassive affiliate? Go to register for 3 free digital products and receive a 14-day free trial of OConnect.
Hey, except you can't get a 14-day free trial of OConnect right now. Because there's no way to pay for the OConnect. So there's no way to get the free trial, you know? Makes sense?
Go to onpassive.com.
This is funny to me because Bill Musk and John White, they don't have an affiliate link. You would think that in their videos, they would say, go to this specific affiliate link. Instead, they just say, just go to onpassive.com, which makes me wonder, like, are they a part of the distributors, like O-founders here? Or are they something else in this company? Because everyone else has their own affiliate link that they use. But this John White, Bill Musk duo just always says, go to onpassive.com, you know? Again, we're left with more questions than we have answers. Violet says, to be honest, the penalties are very high for KYC non-compliance. It's $10 million per document if the regulator does an audit. It happened to us. Oh no. Missing 2 shareholders' IDs. And it was a fine that was $2 million. Oh my. Holy shit. You don't want to do that. Then Chris says, 8 trillion people poop. Imagine how much money we'll make when we take over that market. Don't you want all of them pooping on you? And then Salah comes out like, yeah, you know? Woo! Bill Musk is an avatar. He's a spook. Musk is a lie and does not exist. Well, he existed enough to try to copyright claim me one time. So there was that. All right. And I was like, excuse me, this is not going to happen. Yes, we know that Ash and the LCs are full of shit. And I don't know if they have O-Verify ready. It sounded recently like Ash does not have O-Verify ready. Hello, Sam. Good to see you. So far, we've just looked at some promotional videos and discussed how the Singapore office was shut down and the traffic going to the website. Now the website's not safe. We're about to have a commercial break. And then we are going to read a blog and hear from Mike Ellis. So you didn't miss Mike Ellis yet. I usually do the thing I'm promoting last so that, you know, everyone can come and hang out before I start it. You should have agreed to take down the video only if you got a real picture of Bill Musk. Take a selfie. I think that's called extortion. So I just don't do that. But I did dispute the claim. And then he was like, no, you're not going to dispute it. And I was like, yeah, I am. So in doing that, you have to give your personal information. So I don't know if I got his actual personal information or if he filled out fake information. In future, I will let you all know. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. Today's video is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuck boy. No one fucks with my hose. The lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Now, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Wait, do you have a condom? You don't have one somewhere? Yes. Oi, excuse me there, sir. Do you have these directions? Sure, you just go down that way and make a turn. Don't let her know that your dinger's almost a no-go. Get Tiny Dinger condoms to you discreetly. It's very important to choose the right size, so make sure that you get your tiny size. Don't be caught without a condom. No. Get Tiny Dinger condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Located at your local CVS, pharmacy, Rexall, Shopper, Drug Smart, Walmart, and in your favorite streamer's nightstand.
We get it. You're into feet, and not many girls are also into feet, but you finally found your dream woman. We got your souls covered now. Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Dinger condoms, trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand, and the same people who brought to you sexual endorphin spray, trademarked. We have now created the Foot Fetish Fantasia spray. When you're rubbing on her toes, take a deep breath in and smell the sweet aromas of the toilet bowl, the tire shop, dead flowers, and your nana's perfume. After all, it will turn you on more than just her pinky toe will. This little piggy has been to the market and grabbed themselves a bottle of the foot fetish Fantasia spray, trademarked. It made it so much easier to wake to my ex-girlfriend's feet after she posted up her beach trip vacay photos. Grab your bottle now and make that nasty foot fragrance vanish just like a ghost. Located at CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Kmart, Chaz R Us, and in your favorite foot fetishist nightstand. Are you getting upset with people's freedom of speech and consumer protection laws that allow the public to speak out about your scam? Are you giving YouTube creators false strikes in order to continue preying on vulnerable people? Is it getting hard to hold it in? Hold in all the bullshit? Well, introducing Tiny Digger Diapers, the adult diaper designed for the man baby deep down inside who's always on the way to the top where his ears will pop. With our FlexiFit technology, Tiny Digger Diapers moves with you whenever you sit on your chair, sit in your RV, sit on a boat, or sit in your home office paid for by the people you scam. The Secure Lock core offers unmatched absorption for when you're full of shit, which is most likely all the time. These diapers keep you dry and comfortable so you can attend all 500 hours of webinars this week and not miss your chance to sign up a homeless man to your scam. Maybe he also needs the diapers, huh? Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger condoms and Fantasia foot spray. Buy Tiny Digger diapers today. Located at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Target, your local CVS pharmacy, and in your favorite con artist nightstand. No matter where your day takes you from webinar to webinar, you will always be dry and you won't have to cry. Thank you for listening to a message from today's sponsor.
Yes. So someone asked about Spencer's videos. I have seen Spencer's videos on Onpassive. I do watch Spencer and some of his other scam content as well, but we didn't see Spencer's videos until after we had already started covering Onpassive. So for a lot of you maybe don't know how we got here, we actually got here because of Summer Wells. A lot of people don't realize this, but the Recovering Hunbot and I got kind of into the Summer Wells case when it was going on, just kind of like watching it. Summer is like the same age as Hannah. They were very close in age, and when she went missing, it was kind of like something that hit a little home. You know, I was like, oh my God, I have a child that's the like exact same age, and couldn't imagine. And somebody, I don't remember exactly who, you'd have to ask the Recovering Hunbot, but somebody that she knew that was involved in covering Summer Wells, I believe it was actually promoting Onpassive. And so she was like, oh my God, what the heck is this Onpassive thing? And that's kind of how she found out about it. And so then she started to cover it. And then she asked me to come on her channel, and we started covering it together for quite a while. And then after we were covering it, then we were like, has anyone else talked about this other than us? And I have seen Spencer's videos before, but I hadn't seen his Onpassive video. So when it popped up, I was like, holy shit, look at that. There is somebody else that's covered it out here before. And then we were like, oh, thank God, somebody that's bigger than us has made a video about Onpassive. Because, you know, we were teeny tiny over here. Both of us had under 10K subscribers. I still have under 10K subscribers. So it was like, damn, some of these people in Onpassive have like 100,000 subscribers, you know? So it's like, I really hope that somebody out here covered them that isn't tiny like us. So we were pretty relieved to come across Spencer's videos on Onpassive. And I was actually in the last video he did on Onpassive. He put a little clip in of when I was arguing with Ash. So somebody sent it to me and they said, Queen, you're in Spencer's video. And they were pretty excited. So I was like, awesome. So that's kind of how we got here. For those that do not know, I just thought I would bring that up because someone recently brought up the Summer Wells case to me. So, you know, yes, get CoffeeZilla to do one next. That would be wonderful. That would be great. So I want to take you to the blog, the Onpassive blog, for a moment. And first I need to ask you, you may remember that I have wanted to read you a blog post for the last couple days during this stream. I hope that you remember that yesterday during the stream, I even told you that today we were going to be reading a blog post. Okay? Remember this because the fact that I knew before yesterday afternoon that I was going to be reading you this blog post is important. Yesterday afternoon, I streamed at my usual time of 1 o'clock at the beginning and at the end of my stream. I had mentioned, we're doing Friyay tomorrow. Thought it would be fun. I have a blog post and we'll do the Mike Ellis video and a few other things. Woohoo, let's go. So I'm hoping that that rings a bell for you. If it doesn't, I hope that you can believe me. If not, you can always go back and check my stream from yesterday and try to see where I said it. But I assure you that I came across this blog post yesterday early morning because I do check in with the blogs quite often. I like to see when they posted. I do keep up with Onpassive. It is what I basically do in my free time. I am just here watching Onpassive videos and looking at the blogs and seeing what people are posting about it, So yesterday morning, I had logged on really early, when the kiddo was going to school. So it would have been about 8 a.m. or so. And I had come across this blog post. This blog post that is entitled Understanding the Mechanism Behind URL Shortening. Okay? And I didn't notice it yesterday. But then today, when I went to go get it, what does the date of the post say there? Does that say that the post was there, posted today at noon? Today is Friday, June 7th. And when I went to get this post again for my stream today, just to make sure that I had it saved in my bookmarks, it was before noon. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, they didn't post this at fucking noon today. It's 11:30 a.m. Literally looking at it. It already has over 650 views on it. Like, why is this dated for June 7th today at noon with the time when I know for a fact that this was out before yesterday? It could have even been out on the 5th. Like, so that irks me a bit. Okay, I'm like, what the fuck? Maybe it's Indian Standard Time. His simmering hidden racism is such a turn on. Oh, Asmahan. Who knew that that would turn you on? Oh my.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Oh, time machine. That's how I felt. I literally was sitting here before noon my time going, why does it say it's posted at noon? What time zone is this? It wasn't even the time that bothered me, though. For me, it's the day. Okay? I don't understand. Anyway. I'm assuming that it's like that, all right? Because it's not in our time or even in Florida time, by the way. So, Asmahan, you'll have to fight me for him, Sherry says. Apparently, he's a hot commodity out here for some of the ladies. I wasn't expecting that. So this is a whole thing about link shorteners, and I just find it funny because, again, I like to give you examples of their blog posts, and honestly, they haven't been posting as many blogs as they used to. So it says, in the world of the internet, URLs have been serving as navigational pathways to access various resources on the internet. Yes, it's supposed to be for a long time. They edit very well, including web pages, documents, images, and much more. URL, Uniform Resource Locators, which is what URL stands for, was invented by Tim Berners-Lee in 1992. That's who invented the World Wide Web, and this is actually correct information. For the first time ever, I was reading a blog post that had the right information about who created this. Usually they get it wrong. Wonder if Ash fired the blog writer since they tried to take control from him. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe you figured it all out just now, Chris. Ash goes to the red room with Sella. Be careful what you could catch there. Yeah, careful. Don't go to the red room at all. How about that? So it says, since then, it has gone through many changes and has been used to identify sites on the web. Unfortunately, URLs were never standardized to provide a more useful naming system for sites on the internet. This has made navigating through the links cumbersome and challenging. I'm like, not really. I mean, it kind of has, though. Like, we know that, like, .ca is for Canada, .com is for the US, etc. Like, I don't know what they're saying here, but okay. Especially when sharing and remembering links. I think most of us just copy and pasta, but maybe not. Link shortening applications help shorten links and enhance user experience. I'll believe you. Let us understand, which that's a weird way of putting it. Let us understand how link shorteners work and how to use them. Is that an odd sentence? Let us understand how link shorteners work and how to use them. Like, let's look into how they work and how to use them. Would have been a bit better. Like, it just sounds, let us understand. Let us understand. Tim's best friend was named Earl. Let us understand. So now we have to, like, hopefully they're going to let us understand, you know? Now we have to understand. So how do link shorteners work? Link shorteners work by generating a unique identifier code for a given URL that is stored in the database mapped to the original link. This unique identifier is either generated randomly or customized by the user based on the application program used by the service provider. When a user clicks on the shortened link, the application automatically redirects them to the original URL using the mapping stored in the database. Below is an image illustrating how link shorteners work. And then they have this very grainy images, by the way, which makes me giggle a bit. It tells me that they probably took this image from somewhere else. Sometimes if I save an image directly on Google without clicking on it first, like I just search something, a bunch of images pop up, and then I just save that image on my laptop, sometimes it can end up a little blurry in comparison to if I like click on it and then save it. So it looks like they did that and then re-uploaded it into this document because I've experienced that exact problem before. So I was like, it's a little grainy. It looks a little weird. I thought you said leg shorteners and you whipped your head around. Well, I hope that you didn't hurt your neck because they don't have the med beds. Link shorteners are useless since Twitter removed the 255 character limit and we stopped using SMS. Unless you're posting hundreds of links online, why on earth would you use a link shortener in 2024? This is what I'm saying. See, I've never used one. And even when I was in MLMs, I never used one. Because like my ItWorks webpage was like itworks.com/ what I call myself, best beautiful body wraps or some bullshit like that. So I was like, you know, like even like with the YouTube gives you your own shortened version. So on my YouTube channel, I can have a link where it's like URC and a bunch of letters and numbers and it's pretty long. Or I could just go youtube.com/@queenofkarma. So usually I'll share that one if I have to share it, for example. And most websites have something like that. They try not to make the link like crazy long, or they maybe have their own shortening version of it. So I don't feel like we need like a whole other software out here to do that. You know? I tried Otrim, the link didn't work, and the interface is awful. See, I did it with my Best Beautiful body wraps, and I have a short video where I go into, we're going to read the facts of Otrim and stuff. It will probably come out this next week. And it worked, but I agree with you that the interface is awful, and I couldn't like really do anything with it. I was kind of like, well, that was fun. Like you shorten it and then you just have it a bit shorter. Mark says, I hear Otrim is being rebranded as a skin tag remover. Oh, that's why Marty can't find his Johnson. He O-trimmed it. Good one, Sherry. It was just an easy low-hanging fruit for Ash to proclaim, look, another product. I feel like this is the easiest product you can make out of all of their products. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're in software development, let me know. But I just feel like even out of this, the email client, the video conferencing, and O-Tracker, I feel like out of all of them, and even the OES, this was the easiest thing to slap together really quickly, just to kind of say, oh, we have more than one product. You know? Does that make sense? Like, he was kind of like, what's the quickest thing we can fucking string together? Like, what's the quickest software we can string together that maybe a business would use that we could fucking throw in the OES? So that it's not just O-Connect back there and like O-Mail and O-Net. And they were like, I don't know, like a URL shortener? So, all right, let's do it, guys. You know, like, that's how I feel like Ash comes up with these products. Wes says, I could build one in a day, and that's no lie. A junior developer could. And I feel like that too. I agree. Like, I feel like this is a simple one. So they have like this 6-step process, and it's like new or user insert long URL into the browser, of course. And then the URL is sent to the server, which, okay, server encodes URL for shortening and redirection status coding, which I don't know why that doesn't sound like proper English, but it just sounds bizarre to me. And then new short end URL is stored in database. Like, we know that, but okay, whole step. Shortened URL returned. Returned where? Like, okay, and then it's new shortened URL is stored in the database. And I'm like, wow, we're really getting down to the nitty gritty of how it works, aren't we? And then the funniest thing happens, and they say, consider that you have a link to Google Drive. And I'm like, well, why would I need a link to Google Drive? I should only be using fucking Onpassive products, right? Right? Isn't that what they said? That's what the SEC said. They were easy products to build. A 7th grader could build it for a tech fair, but it took Ash 2 years at least. At least. I mean, or he wasn't working on any of them the whole time. And then it was a last-second decision. Right? Wes says, decades of experience in software here, worked for multinationals, consulted, founded a business that still develops multi-million rand tech. I can confirm Onpassive tech is useless. Yeah. I feel like it's all very, very easy shit. Because a lot of people said that about the email client too. That like email client is something that you learn in like your first year of tech school. It's like one of the first things you learn. It's like very easy to put together, especially since he's not even building it from scratch. You know? So it makes it even more easy. But yeah, so further example, they don't even use Onpassive, which just kind of makes me laugh. They're like, consider that you have a link to Google Drive. And I'm like, yeah, because you would know that most people probably do have a Google Drive, but not everyone is going to be an Onpassive. You can shorten this link using any link shortener like Otrim. When you paste this link on Otrim and click on Trim Link, a new shortened link will be created. I feel like that's all I had to say. I don't know why we have a whole blog post about this. This shortened new link can now be used for quick sharing and can even generate a QR code. I'm like, don't they all do that now, though? The work of link shorteners is to provide various benefits to their users. Additionally, businesses have developed premium paid services atop link shortening applications. Can you guys name one link shortening business? Just like take a minute, you know. So if I asked you to name some email clients, you would be able to. It would be like Outlook, Gmail. You know, you'd come up with a few. Can you think of any link shortening? That's what you guys are all going to say, Pit. Yeah. Maybe one. Everyone uses this, it seems. Next level, gens. All right. One. And it's the same one. That was fun. I was wondering if something like that would happen. I don't know if there's that many companies that have actually made it multi-million-dollar businesses just off of link shortening, but that was fun. So then it says link shortener services benefits, which again doesn't sound like proper English to me. Shorten URLs offer various benefits, which include increased click-through rates, enhanced brand trust, and protection against malicious links, among other benefits. Additionally, URL link shortener services offer valuable on-the-top recommendations with valuable analytics, such as the number of clicks, which I thought we needed OTracker for, the geographic distribution of users, which I thought is what OTracker was for, and traffic sources, which is what OTracker was for, helping business users optimize their marketing efforts effectively. Some of the benefits of link shorteners are, and at this point I'm saying, I feel like they copy and pasted this from someone else. Because the thing that they're saying that the link shortener is going to do, that's what OTracker is supposed to do. And again, I've said it before, I feel like you don't need OTrim and OTracker for that reason. Because usually the link shortener application will also give you the analytics. You know? Jelly says, you think someone who has spent 10 to 12 hours a day online for the last 20 years could see that Onpassive products are shit? Yeah, like people that are in MLMs, right? Violet says, we have quite a talented bunch of naysayers here. No clapping seals, which just reminded me. So I don't know if I have the clapping seals. I'm going to have to get that one for in here. I'm in a new StreamYard today. All right. So thank you for reminding me. I've now written that one down. I have to move that one over here. I knew I was forgetting one. Oh. I remember using link shortening when uploading movies and software to Rapid Share and Mega Upload for all my OG heads. If you remember those days. All of them are free to use. Yeah, actually. Tiny Earl, that's a real business. Yeah. So, let's get into what now again, it sounds like these are just what URL shorteners do. Not necessarily OTrim, just in general again, right? Easy access and enhanced performance. Link shorteners provide quick and easy access to web pages, enhancing the overall performance of the user. Diversified use. Users can easily shorten lengthy URLs, making them more visually appealing. They can also easily be used on various print and digital platforms to share content. Branding of the URL. This one's important. Link shorteners allow users to customize their shortened URLs with their brand name or relevant keywords, thereby allowing brands to create brand identity and recognition. The thing about that is Onpassive, when they do their O-trim, all of their links are O-trim and then your brand. So every time it's going to be the Onpassive brand before your brand. And I feel like that's important to know, and that's kind of an issue. If you are trying to brand yourself, you're probably better to just get your own links, like your own web page, and have your own business. So I don't know if branding is something that they're going to be doing at Onpassive. Branding of the URL won't work the same. Quick support to queries. Link shortening service providers like O-trim by Onpassive provide prompt and efficient support to user queries, thus making it a smooth user experience. Wes and I just told you it's not really a smooth user experience at all. Preserve privacy. Link shortening services prioritize user privacy by restricting malicious links. Onpassive.com is a malicious link in itself. So I'm like, what do you mean? And offering personalized recommendations based on user preferences and browsing history. Analysis of clicks. And this is what O-Tracker is supposed to do. Link shortening service providers offer comprehensive analytics on link clicks, including information on the geographic distribution of users, referral sources, and more, empowering users to make data-driven decisions. And again, I feel like you're going to be using O-trim and O-tracker if you're an Onpassive, and then they're both going to be giving you analytics. Like, awesome. You're like, yay! Have a good weekend, Joe! You know, like, why do we have both of them? Hello, devils! Going into this level of detail for a free product, Onpassive really know how to prioritize, right? Right? I found it very interesting. So, like, I guess you're going into O-trim, trim your link, right? And you're getting analytics there. And then they're going to tell you to also put your links into O-tracker, and then you're going to get analytics there. It would be funny if they didn't match. I mean, hopefully they get the O-tracker stuff sorted out so that we could actually use it, so that we could check that out, because that would be interesting, right? And it says it improves URL management. Shortened links are easier to manage as they allow for quick customization and optimization strategies to be implemented. And I'm like, okay, but like, most people just copy and paste, and then it shortens on most like places. Like if I paste a link onto X, you don't see like the entire link. You know what I mean? And then you just click it, and then you're there. Like, again, I don't know why we even have O-trim. How much do you actually need to know about link shortening? Jeez. And see, that's the thing, is that they tell you that you don't need to know all of this tech and all of this information. But then every time that they release a blog, it's like this. So again, it's mixed messaging that they give you. Jen said they need to swamp their victims to keep them from asking for their pay. Exactly. Oh, well, there's new information out about O-trim. Did you guys go read it on the blog? No. Yeah, okay, that will take me. How long did it say this read was? They usually tell you it'll be like 3-minute read. I don't know if they did on this one. No, they didn't. 3-minute read. Woo! Way to waste time. So then we get into O-trim length shortener. And actually, let's just do that scroll again. Okay, this is all the information about how Earl shorteners work and what they are. Okay, as you can see, it's like several paragraphs and a diagram. You know, there's different parts to it. We got points, you know. Then we get into O-trim and we have one fucking paragraph that's like 3 sentences. It was very weird. I was like, you would think that you would specifically talk about O-trim more than that, you know? So, O-trim length shortener, among the many available Earl shortening services in the market. So you are aware that there's other ones that people are already using, so they probably won't switch. O-trim by Onpassive stands as one of the most reliable options in the market. Says who? Says you? Like, it's not even in the market. How is that so? O-trim offers various unique features along with length shortening services for its users. Its features are designed to streamline the length shortening process and provide users with comprehensive analytics and support. Again, which O-Tracker also does, so cool. You can enjoy the benefits of short Earls for free with O-trim by logging into the OES ecosystem of Onpassive. And I'm like, yes, I know. Thank you. Thank you for that. That was interesting. I still don't know why O-trim is better than the other options on the market. You claim it's more reliable, but what about it makes it more reliable than its competitors, you know? They never tell you. It's just so general. And then it's the conclusion. Length shorteners have been a trend. Was that why you're doing this? Eh? Is it a trend, you think? I don't remember when they've been trending. Did I miss the trend? I mean, it happens. I'm not really one of those people that pay attention to trends. So, like, did I miss it? Anyway, length shorteners have been a trend for a long time and are used massively across personal and business places. Places? I don't know. That was weird. They play a crucial role in simplifying navigation in the ever-growing digital landscape by making lengthy Earls user-friendly and trackable. And I'm like, okay, but again, if you need O-trim to track it, why do we have O-tracker? Like, what is going on? Again, I feel like they made them 2 products so they could claim that they have 2 products instead of only 1 product, you know? They're trying to buff up the back office and products. That's why ONet sucks. That's why OConnect kind of sucks too. They're just whipping things together so that when they go to the SEC, you know, they can be like, we actually have products now. Yeah, last time you saw us, we didn't. That's all. Because again, I don't get, like, what are we doing? Why didn't we just make it 1 fucking product that trims the link and also tracks it? Like all the other ones do. I don't understand. Because if I get this from anywhere else, it's going to be 2-in-1. Like all the other companies pretty much do 2-in-1. They also track the link, so I'm confused. With features like customization, analytics, and QR code generation, again, that's not extra stuff that other things don't have. Users can optimize their online presence and enhance user experience using length shortener services, thus improving their productivity. Again, I feel like this is going to slow me down. Visit www.onpassive.com to learn more about O-trim and avail its free benefits. I'm good. We're going to get into O-trim in more detail next week. For now, I'm okay. But again, I just find it interesting. Now, this is when we're going to go to the comments. I don't usually do this. Length shorteners are viral on TikTok. Everyone's just on TikTok. They're like, guys, have you heard about length shorteners? And they all got Goodbye Earl playing in the background, you know? You know, like behind, because Earl had to die. You know, and guys, I just found this new length shortener. It shortens your Earls for you. Yeah, no, I've definitely seen those TikToks. Yeah, no, all over my feed. Onpassive blogs and adverts are simply copies of other companies' information with an Onpassive logo slapped on. That's what I felt like this was. I felt like they went and copy and pasted everything until we got down to the O-trim link shortener part. And then they just copied and pasted this pretty much off the website, right? Which you'll see. And then they just added this in at the end. Like, that was it. But the funny thing that they say is they always say that it's going to improve your productivity to shorten links, okay? And I don't understand how. Okay, because right now, if I want to share a link, I just copy and paste that link. All right? I just, boom, copy and paste the link, and there you go. Watch. I'm going to copy and paste this link right now. I just highlighted it, just press copy. I'm going in there. I'm pressing paste, and I have just pasted the link of the blog in my chat. Did you see how short a time that took me? Okay? In order to use O-trim, if I wanted to make that link shortener, shortener? Okay, yeah, no, shorter. If I wanted to make it shortener, if I wanted to make it shorter, okay, I would have to go into O-trim. So I'd have to go to onpassive.com, go into the OES, log in, click on O-trim, then input it into O-trim, wait for it to trim the URL, and then copy and paste, and then put it in. You know. And that's extra steps. I don't understand. Like, I feel like, if anything, you're adding extra things. Why? You know? Another generic text with their own words pasted in. And oftentimes they get it wrong. And they're not using O-trim themselves. I wonder why. Yeah. They don't appear to be. But no, I just found that so interesting. Because I was like... And the date is still weird. I don't understand. It was definitely posted before yesterday afternoon. But the date is for today at noon. So now we're going to get to what everyone, I'm sure, is actually here and waiting for. Which is... Mike Ellis, by the way, released a video.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Feel like it's been a while. We also need one of these.
Stop going there.
So, let's go hear what Mike Ellis had to say. It's been a little while since we heard from Mike Ellis. I believe it's been at least a couple weeks. And his video was called Building an Economy of Strength. So I'm interested to hear what he has to say about building an economy at all.
Over the last 4 or 5...
Hold on, what did Mark say here? You need to log on 3 times and open up 11 tabs. Yeah, probably. Onpassive is moving forward, other you like or not. Onpassive is moving. We don't want to stop you from moving forward. You do that fine on your own. Onpassive is moving. Only God can stop Onpassive. God bless our CEO. That's why you're in a cult. Okay, like, I've never gone into a chat because I just love using Facebook so much. When I was like 18, 19, and I was on Facebook constantly in my life. All right? I never went into a live stream chat and went, I love Mark Zuckerberg. God bless Mark Zuckerberg. It's weird. All right? You guys are weird. God bless the SEC and the FTC. Fuck it. God bless the FDA too. And God bless Tina.org. How about that? Only God can start Onpassive. Is that the issue, Ricardo? That's the issue, isn't it? That's why it hasn't started. Right? Who is this guy on the screen again? This is Mike Ellis, by the way.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
He's top of Onpassive. God bless Bill Gates. Right? God bless Bill Gates. That's what I'm saying. It's just a little weird. I also like you guys watch me almost every single day. And I've never seen you go into other people's chats and be like, God bless Queen of Karma. I know that in the Recovering on Bot chat, we all do. I love the Recovering on Bot. That's because people kept coming into her chat and writing I heart Onpassive over and over again. So we started to write back, I heart the Recovering on Bot. You know, just because we were like, get out of here. So I know we do that, but that's a joke. That's what I mean. When we're doing things like that, we're usually joking and playing off how they are actually seriously doing these things, which is a little sus, you know? Mike's face in the pyramid with the compass is a haunting image. Sorry. I don't know what to say to that. I'm sorry. Like, amen, right? They are monopolizing all God's time with all the prayers. Give him a break, man. Yeah, you know, he needs to rest on the seventh day, apparently. That's the last thing hundreds of Papua New Guineans saw before getting scammed out of $97 was Mike's face in this pyramid. Oh, no.
Over the last 4 or 5 days, there's been quite a buzz within Onpassive. Mr. Mufara did a webinar 4 or 5 days ago. A lot of really, really good stuff in there. And what came to my mind was...
Mark says only God or a skin tag can stop Onpassive, right? A skin tag almost took Onpassive out. All the prayers for a skin tag have worn God out. I was like, I do need a break this Sunday, actually. You guys kept praying for his fucking 2-second skin tag surgery. Like, I don't understand what was going on.
It's a very, very simple concept, and it's building an economy of strength.
Poor Gene.
And I don't want to talk in the macro, the big picture, but I want to narrow it down to you. How do you build an economy of strength for you and your family? And all that means is, how do I come in, develop an income, and have the freedom to live life I want to live with my family, wife, and kids?
Okay.
And when we think about that, Onpassive comes to the forefront in...
Damn it, Mike, why aren't you saying it? That's usually when you would say...
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
You would be like, and when we think about it...
Major, major ways. When we think about an economy of strength and we think about Onpassive, we think about the vision of Mr. Mufaro and Onpassive.
Okay.
And we know the vision of Onpassive. It's...
Do you? Because it seems like Ash doesn't even know. Like, he comes out here the last few times, his speeches have all been like, the vision was something else, and I had a different vision, and it changed, and now I have to take back control. So, like, do you, though?
Been around for 5.5 years, 6 years. Everybody here understands that Onpassive is going to go to work for you, which gives you the ability to develop an...
I don't have to understand shit. All right? I don't have to understand that at all. How about you prove that to me? How about you give me some real evidence that that's going to happen? Because based on what I know now, I don't believe that, because everything has gone wrong in this company. Ash has failed at every single step and every single deadline. He hasn't met one deadline since the beginning of this thing. And he's the one that sets his own deadlines. Like, I've never in my life seen someone that sets their own deadlines so many times and then doesn't reach them. It's ridiculous. It's even like a joke to them. Like, they'll be like, ha ha ha, Ash doesn't like to give people a deadline because then people hold him to it. It's like, yeah, as they should. Like, what do you mean? Like, they live in this twilight zone where everything's opposite of how it's supposed to be.
Income online. They're literally going to go to work for you. So vision is...
Darn it, did we ruin it? Jelly, did we ruin his?
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Or is he just so egotistical now that he's like, everyone knows who I am? Yeah, everyone in Onpassive knows who I am because...
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Which one? Which one do you think it is? I love the sound of deadlines whooshing past. I love the sounds of deadlines not being met in the morning. I don't know why that... Sorry. I'll never let you guys go cold turkey. No, I won't. God created the galaxy in 6 days, but my goodness, making sure a skin take surgery was successful is just too much. You know what? God created the galaxy in 6 days. But what was really important for him to create was Onpassive, which is why he's taking 6 years with that. So there you go. All right. How about that? Mike Ellis, Martin DeGarmo, and Daniel Street. These three are the real demons behind Onpassive. They are. They've all been in since the very beginning, and they all knew Ash from before. They probably collude to fawn at Ash, knowing full well he's the one getting the SEC trial. Maybe. Who knows? This is like such a weird screen cap. I feel like I need this kissy face of his. So we're just going to grab that quickly. All right. Perfect. Moving on.
Really, really important.
He remembers.
and 4 or 5 days ago when I listened to Ash, I thought about the vision, and then I thought about a very, very large corporation or even a government. And when
you thought, he's like, I looked at Ash and then I thought of Trump. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
When you start to develop a company, you have to delegate authority. You have to do that.
Okay, but that's not what he said. He didn't say he delegated. He said that he acted like he had given full control to somebody else, and now he had to take that back. Again, he did that. Like, they're acting like we're weird because we literally heard Ash come out here and announce, I have to take back control now. And went, well, who the fuck was controlling this thing before? Seriously. And it's like, no, like he said that. He made it sound that way. So now don't come out here and be all like, listen, that's how businesses usually work. You have to delegate to people. Then he would have still had control.
And Onpassive has gotten so large that Mr. Mufara had to delegate authority.
Probably, Sam.
And when you do that, you get a lot of people coming in, very, very smart people, but their vision is a little different than Mr. Mufara's. And all of a sudden, when you have this big organization, this bureaucracy, all of a sudden the vision of Onpassive, it starts to wane a little bit. It starts to change a little bit. We do not want that to happen. We know the vision of Onpassive.
Yeah, like Ash comes in, he's like, listen, I really want to create this amazing business. Hear me out. I got a great business idea. So it's going to be in the shape of a pyramid, okay? And all the people on the bottom are going to pay up to the top, and then I'm going to pocket all the money and transfer it into my wife's account. And then lawyers have to be hired eventually because you get sued by the SEC for unregistered securities, the fraud you're running, and also misappropriation of funds, among other illegal shit. And, the lawyers are like, you cannot run that. That's actually called a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme. It's actually illegal, and you can't do that. So then he's like, oh, fuck. Damn it. I'm going to have to, figure out how to follow the damn laws now. Like, how am I doing that? Like, that's what I feel like this is. Because this whole time, like, he came out a while ago, remember? And he made that loophole statement. And for some reason, I can't let it go. The way that he came out here and he said, we're trying to find loopholes so that we're within the laws and regulations. And I was like, that's a sus word to use. Obviously, yeah, loopholes. An MLM is a loophole. It's a pyramid scheme with the loophole of being somehow socially acceptable and known as not a pyramid scheme is what it is. It's basically a pyramid scheme with a fancy ass name that society was like, well, you know what? Some people make like $54 a month, so we'll just let people do it. Why not? Like, that's all it is. And it's like, Jesus, no, there's rules and regulations in place. And if you're out here and you're watching me or you're watching any of the advocates out here that talk about scams, talk about businesses, talk about ethical versus unethical business practices, the laws, the rules, the regulations, those are all in place and we exist to protect you, not big corporate. That's the thing you have to understand. If those things were not in place, we would all have to start eating the rich because we would all be starving, but they would all be eating very, very well. And so would their big corporate companies. Like, just think of our world if businesses and corporations could just do whatever the fuck they wanted to make money. Because yes, we do live in a very big corporate America, but there are rules and regulations and ethics and procedures, and all of those things are in place to ensure that you, the consumer, the buyer, your everyday working person that needs to go and purchase things in our world to survive, does not get taken advantage of. So you should also want them. You know, you should also be like, yes, we need laws and regulations and rules and things like this. Otherwise, like, it would be awful out here. I mean, look at all the scams there are with the rules and regulations. Imagine our world without. So it's like, to hear somebody just so nonchalantly come out here too and be like, we're looking for legal loopholes to run this business. And then to have the things that have been happening with this and where we are now, it's just, I can't help but feel like his issue is with his lawyers. He's having an issue with the lawyers. He wants to break the law. They do not want him to break the law. He wants to break the law. Maybe Muhammad Kamal and Dr. Susan are better than we think. Maybe they're not as grimy. Maybe they think that this is somehow a legal, decent business model. So maybe they're trying to change things. But then he's like, no. You know, like, I can't help but wonder if these are kind of the things that are going on here. But it's not just Ash, like, delegating tasks. And then, like, some of the people he delegated these tasks to had a different vision. Like, the way Mike is describing it here, no, that's not what we're dealing with. That's not what's happening. And I feel very gaslit. Okay? I don't like being gaslit. People try to gaslight me quite often. A lot of people are like, this bitch has autism and a mental health disorder. We could probably gaslight her. No, I'm very hard to gaslight. And I feel like this whole week, they've just been gaslighting all of us. And like trying to make us feel like what we heard Ash say is not what he said. And I'm like, no, it is though. Because again, I'm very hard to gaslight because I don't forget things. And I will pull up receipts and be like, but what about this? Here are his words. And then that's what I mean. And they're like, no, guys. He never said he was taking back control. There's nothing to worry about. Everything is fine. And we're over here going, no, but he literally said the words. I have taken back control. Those were his exact words, which implies that he had lost control somehow or didn't have any, not just delegated tasks. Like, it's so silly, but it's so angering to me because that's what these guys do. Ash comes out here and says something, you interpret it exactly how it was said, and then you're gaslit into believing that you twisted it around when you didn't. This man makes no sense. Okay? And he's full of shit. So you can't let them trick you. And I'm so fed up because now even Mike Ellis had to come out here. And he had to have a go at gaslighting me. Like, he had to come out here and be like, yep, Ash was out here.
From Mike Ellis, by the way.
And guys, he just said that he delegated some tasks. All right? And those people had different visions. I don't know what you got all upset about control and shit for. What was that about? What you doing that? You know? And I'm like, bah! Shut up, Mike. Like, I know what was said. I know what we heard. And honestly, I cannot blame anyone for having the same reaction as we're having. Okay? Like, especially if you're in this thing and you're depending on it, you're probably more angry than I am. Right? I kind of let myself get a little angry and triggered. I feel like a lot of you come and watch me because you like to see me yell at the people that you wish you could yell at, you know? So, fucking pissed off But like, imagine if you were an actual O founder, you would have every right to be just as mad as I'm acting right now, or even more mad. And I do not want these people to make you think that you are the problem here, because you're not. Like, that's what was said. The way that people interpreted was how people would interpret what was said. Like, I don't know how else to say it. And now they're trying to make you sound like you're made it up or something. You didn't. You're not going insane. They're insane. Just remember that. Stricardo says, Mike has spent the last 5 years desiccating his mother's corpse, now kept in the filing cabinet. I mean, we are wondering what he keeps in all those damn filing cabinets he has back there. And the closets. I'm just saying, it seems like he needs a lot of storage. Ash hasn't mentioned any of his dream team on the last couple of calls he had. Just an observation, right? I know, I'm wondering. Maybe everyone is having problems with him. I feel like he would be an awful person to work for. I do. Do you imagine? He's not coachable. You know? We delegate to you, Queen, the right to scream and shout on our behalf. I try to sometimes. You know?
We know what Mr. Mufara is trying to do. We know that he's trying to...
Don't you ever just want to stop them and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I like just yell at your fucking TV when you're watching them, because when I'm by myself, sometimes I also yell at my TV. My daughter and my husband will be making fun of me because I'll be out here like, oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Change lives around the world.
And I'll come out and be like, which one is it, Mom? Is it the unicorn one this time?
But when that vision starts to wander a little bit, all of a sudden it's not the original vision that Mr. Mufara had. And it changes in ways that affects each and every one of us. Well, what did Mr. Mufara do?
Half an hour late.
It's very, very simple. He took control of the helm again, and he said, no, I don't care who you...
See, but like, to who? Who did he say no to? See, this is our issue. It's kind of funny. And hear me out, because very recently, the recovering Humbot found out, right? And I was also we were both kind of digging, found some things, and was like, what the fuck's going on over here? Because it looks like Muhammad Kamal is running O Media and possibly even the Onpassive in Dubai. Okay? This is something that we kind of found out. He's listed as CEO in a bunch of places. She's showing you a lot of information on that. So that happened, right? That happened. And then the website removed the offices shortly after that, because it very much had to do with the Dubai office as well that we were talking about. So that was sus. And now they're doing speeches, like Ash is doing speeches about taking back the business. And I can't but also wonder if they're trying to like get us off their trail of figuring out everyone that's actually controlling this business. You know? It's just, everything seems very odd timing. Alp says, I have to assume Mike has all the dirt he's ever gotten on anyone he's been involved with ever, because when you're as big as a scammer as he is, that's the only way you'll ever be safe. Sometimes. See, we lucked out with Ken Russo because he had gotten the attention of some A-logging scam sites that then were fabulous and took the time to follow him. So unless you have something like that happen, you know, then... Or you have someone like me or Alonda look into you and your background and realize how many scams you've been in and piece it all together. Kind of like how that forum did for Ken Russo. You know, then you will be safe. You don't really have to worry about anything, unfortunately. That's why people like me and the recovering Hunbot are important, believe it or not. And that's why those forums are important. And that's why I wish that Kiwi Farms, instead of doing drama, they would like cover like grifters and scammers only and then take them down. That would be fabulous. I would pay to use the website if it did that before I would buy Onpassive too, by the way. I'm just saying, Josh. So yeah, like, I think that stuff is very, very important because we do need to track people like Mike Ellis and his history and what he's been into. We had our Singapore premises, but we had to take back control and relocate everything here. Cost us a lot. Pay will have to wait, right? Just always setting it up for the lie or the letdown. Do you think Ash and the three amigos cut Mike off of all the inside information? Mike doesn't seem as close to them anymore like he once was. Mike had to go back to work. Mike wasn't doing too well. He had retired. And then I guess he was depending on Onpassive. And this last year, he kind of came to the conclusion that he wasn't going to get his pay of Onpassive. So he should probably get a job. So he went back to work. So because he's back in work, he hasn't been around. But every time he comes back, he does a fucking webinar like this. And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. He's just as into it as he was the last time I saw him. Do I think that they cut him off of the inside information? I don't know if Mike was ever as close to get the inside information. Like, he's close to Dan Street and Marty, but I never really saw him and Ash do the same, like, joking around. It kind of depends on who Ash picks. You know what I mean? Ash kind of picks the ones that are at the top and get the inside information. He's never really been as close to Ash as Red and Chris and Marty have made it a point to be. Which means that he might be a little bit of a better of a person, by the way. I'm just going to throw that out there. I feel like he's not as worrisome as them. Jakarta says, I think Mike is torn between Ash and Ronald McDonald. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba, I'm loving it. Mike's current. That's his Let's O face? Awesome. And he always wears the same two shirts. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much the one he has on right now.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
The blue version and the black version. They'll do up in the front. You know? Bitly, it's funny. All of you guys are saying that one. I was like, they'll maybe name two because there's like maybe 2 or 3 that people use and that's it. They were acting like everyone was, they were all going viral. I was like, I don't think so. Like, I'm pretty sure people only know like 2 or 3 of them, like tops. Like, come on. Back to work for, yeah. For Mike means another MLM. Anyone got a date on when Live Good launched exactly? No. Unfortunately, I don't. He's not as uncouth and rough around the edges like trashy Marty, Chris, Ash. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't feel like Mike Ellis has the same people skills as they do either, if that makes sense.
You are, I don't care how talented you are, I don't care what you bring to Onpassive. The vision of Onpassive will not change. It will not change. And Mr. Mufara, he took back the rudder and he steered us straight again with the true vision of Onpassive. It has not changed. It will not change. And Onpassive,
but it has changed, right? Because it started off as just a marketing company and then it turned into the AI tech company that would help you run your business. And then it turned into the company that was going to save humanity. So which one is it not changing from? I'm just wondering.
We'll go to work for each and every one of us. Now, when we start thinking about what Mr. Mufara just did, there are so many people that were freaking out and going, okay, it's in transition, it's in flux, we don't know what's going to happen. Onpassive, this could take another 3 months, another 6 months, another year. We just don't know where it's going to go. You are so wrong, and I disagree with you so much.
He does. You see, he's a much better talker, but he doesn't do like the same sort of joking. And you know what I mean? Doesn't have the same. I feel like he has more of a professional relationship with these guys. And they're more personal. You know? Does that make sense? Like, he doesn't do like the joking around with them. Like, they all kind of josh on each other and tease each other and make fun of each other. And like, he's not really in on any of that. So I feel like he's always kind of been on the outside of their group. Even like when Dan Street was around more, he did more of the joking and that kind of stuff that Mike did. Like, Mike's always kind of been on the outside.
Passive has not changed.
I just don't know if
Passive has not stopped moving forward. Did we get paid last week? No, we didn't. Okay. Mr. Mufara had to do a few things. He had to tweak a few things. He had to get things back in gear, running right and running in the right direction. That's all. Onpassive, they haven't missed a beat. They really haven't, guys. You don't have to worry about that.
But they did miss a beat, a very big beat, by the way. Probably the biggest damn beat / note in the entire world. It was so big that Ariana Grande would have paid millions of dollars just to sing it, okay? They missed the beat. That was the commissions coming out at the end of last month. That's a very big thing to miss. And this is what I mean. We're not just dealing with right now. Okay, we've gone through many phases covering this. We've gone through we don't even have a website yet, so let's at least launch that stage. Then we've gone through okay, now let's launch some products stage. And now we're kind of going through okay, there's some products, and now we're supposed to launching the actual business side of this, like the commissions, the sales, the recruiting, that kind of stuff. And it's like, the first couple things were really annoying, but you had a decent excuse. Like, we knew that they weren't going to happen. But at this point, it was like, you should be able to come up with a way to get these payments to people. All right, the merchant was taking your stuff off hold. So at this point, with this one, it was like, you don't really have a fucking excuse to not have commissions to these people. Other than you're running a scam so you can't get a merchant. Which at that point, to me, I think you should just shut it down. Because, like, where do you go from here? Like, what are you going to do? Are you just going to constantly be doing streams now? It's one thing to make people wait for a website. Another thing to make people wait for products. Very annoying thing that went on for like a good 2 years straight. People waiting for products. Okay? Yeah. But when it comes to money that they feel like they're owed, that's something completely different. And people tend to take that one a little bit more seriously. So I'm kind of like, where do you go from here? Because I don't see 6 months from now, everyone still being okay with sitting here just like waiting around for their money. Like, the dream is here. It's happening. So you either do it or die, right? I mean, isn't that what Ash says?
The vision of Onpassive, it has not changed. In fact, it's gotten stronger because of what Mr. Mufara has done. And I am so glad that he did what he did. Now, he did not start this yesterday.
He did like Forex tradings and things like that before. I know that we have a chart of him somewhere.
Okay. This has been in the works for a while.
I was thinking about doing over the summer here. I was thinking, let me know if you guys actually want to do this, because I kind of started to do it, but not really. I was thinking of kind of diving into the Three Amigos and then maybe like Mike Ellis, some of these top people, and talking about what MLMs they did before this, how they got here, and all that kind of thing. If you guys are interested, let me know. I'll just be doing like Marty, Red, Chris, Mike Ellis. Maybe we can also talk about Kent Russo if you want, and a few of the other founders. Like, it'd be fun to do Julie, We could even do one where we kind of talk about Marty, Mike, and Dan Street and how that all kind of came about. How they met as friends and ended up here together, you know. I was thinking about doing that. So let me know, because we do have information on a lot of the MLMs that they were in the past and how they got to be here with Ash. A lot of it started with GDI. And then we even found out that Michael Williams actually comes from Telex Free, which I wasn't expecting. I honestly was not expecting that. I was expecting like Mike or Dan or Marty to come from Telex Free, but Michael Williams does. So he's been around for a very long time, you know? Marty keeps saying that when Ash gets the money, he will pay it out. That hasn't changed with this big shakeup, but he's got to pay by the end of this month or they will start figuring it out. See, and this is what I mean. Like, we're kind of at a point now where he ran out of his excuses. Like, I don't know what he's going to explain. How is he going to explain all these people's money just disappearing? And like, will they accept it? And the funny thing is that he is going to come up with a way to explain this money disappearing. And there are going to be people that are just going to accept it. And we're going to be over here going, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with these people? But it's going to happen, or else this is going to have to come to a head. One of the two.
That's why Onpassive has not missed a beat. And that's why, looking forward, things are still going to be happening very, very quickly. But I think the most important...
Like, as quickly as they have been, or quicker, you know, because there's fucking 6 more years until Verify comes out. I don't know if people will wait that long, Mike.
Important thing when we start to thinking about building an economy of strength for you and I. The vision of Onpassive hasn't changed. Mr. Mufara has taken back the reins. Everything is fine and everything is moving forward very, very quickly. But for you and I, we still have the ability, because of Onpassive, because of what Onpassive does, because Onpassive is going to go to work for us, we still have the ability to come in, build it.
Honestly, stopping scammers might be more productive than just following celebrities. I'll put it out there.
Income and get to that point where we don't worry about finances. And
Chris says, I thought he was saying he was duped as a way to explain how he lost all the money. But he's doubled down that they'll get paid when he gets the money. I know. Me too. I was like, it has to do with the money because the money hasn't come. So it's like, okay, well, this is obviously going to be an excuse for why the money isn't here. I mean, that makes sense, right? But like, they're still talking like they're going to get the money. Like, they really are acting like nothing happened with that. Like, he just didn't do that speech. All right, where are the weird ones? Because we were like, whoa, this is weird stuff he's saying. What is that about? You know? And so now I'm like, okay, but where is it going to go from here? Because how long are you going to be able to string them along? Like, oh, don't worry, you'll get your money, you'll get your money, you'll get your money. It's not just about, like, because to them, they have sold and bought a product now. You know, when they hadn't bought a product yet, right? It's easy to kind of like string them along still with the products coming and, oh, that'd be great and it'd take us a while and blah, blah, blah. But right now, like, to them, they're owed this commission from a product they sold to themselves, which I still don't understand, but hey, we're going with it because they're going with it. So like, what are we supposed to do, you know? That's what they say happens, so okay. So I'm kind of interested. I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen next. I hope you guys are just as interested.
You can do that. True liberty, true freedom comes into your life. And moving forward.
And like, because I'm like, is he going to take off for 2 weeks now? Right? Because he came out on Tuesday, but then he had the surgery. So like now he's in recovery, right? So now is he going to take off for 2 weeks? And we're just going to be at like a standstill for 2 weeks? And then he'll come back after 2 weeks and be like, yeah, guys, that was crazy. I ended up having to pay for the surgery. It cost me $108 million. I know, nuts.
And this is, this is part of the vision of Mr. Mufara. moving forward, yeah, you are going to take care of those needs that you have. You're going to fill your pocket.
Maybe you just need new friends, because, like, why are your friends yapping about Kanye? I guess it's better than P. Diddy, though. I'll give you that. Marty's dream is to get a new fridge, but even that is a bridge too far at this rate. I hear he's accepting this. He's accepting his dreams may not be as big as they should be. You know, like, he'll be lucky to get that fridge.
You're going to fill the tank. But moving forward, when you've done all those things because of what Mr. Mufara is doing, because of his vision, because of the structure
This is like something that a romance scammer would send.
of Onpassive, and because they are going to work for us, when we get there, where we've taken care of those things,
Where we
now
go
we
in?
can start to focus out in the world, in our community,
Okay.
in our province, in our country, wherever, and we can start
Yeah,
to
of
do
course.
things because everything else is taken care of. We can start to do things that literally changes the world in major, major ways. But initially, you are going to be able to build that economy of strength for you, macro to you.
See, I don't like this at all. How are you going to change the world, Mike? You guys keep saying, like, we're going to change the world, save humanity. How? What are you going to do? Like, what, everyone's going to get their fucking $143 in their account commission, and then the whole world's going to change? Like, it just sounds so silly.
Individually, and that's what's so important right now. That is going to be happening. It is going to be happening very quickly. Onpassive has not missed a beat, and we are moving forward very, very quickly. Ash Mufara, he's in control.
Catherine, good to see you. Catherine says, hello all. Didn't Ash say rather harshly that they weren't owed anything because they've been using O-Connect for months? Yes. Sort of did. He also implied that if anything, they're actually gaining. Like, if anything, they owe him more because he pays $5,000 per user. I believe that was in the same speech that he had announced that in, if my memory serves me. That's how that came up. It was like, well, you guys have been using O-Connect for months for free. And by the way, it cost me $5,000 each for you to use it. Was how that was, you know? Ash said, okay, I'll get the surgery as long as it doesn't cost more than $38 million. The doctor said, you're in luck because it only costs $38 million. That's right. Ash also said that about the back office back in 2020. Probably. And that was the original back office before it was the OES. So when it really sucked even more and had less things in it, there wasn't even really a product in it then. It would have just been you sign in and then sit there.
Steering the ship, and we couldn't have a better shipmaster on board than Mr. Ash Mufara. His vision.
Shipmaster? Captain? Captain of the ship. Maybe he should have consulted with Red before doing this video.
His intellect and actually taking care of people. So that's it for today.
Again, because he has failed at every step, not met one deadline, and now he's announcing that he's been duped and has to take back control. But we should definitely trust in him.
Today, guys, just very, very quickly, we're in great shape. The vision hasn't changed, and just get ready. Your life is going to change. It's going to change in really, really good ways. That's it for today, guys. Have a great week, and we'll absolutely see you on the inside. Bye.
Yeah, don't worry. When you get $143 back in your account, because that's what you paid for the O-Connect, your life is going to change. It's funny because they'll say $97 and $143 to spend on Onpassive isn't a lot of money. But then allegedly when you're getting $143 in commissions, it's going to change the world. So, you know, MLM math and all. And Ash does think that the back office is a product. He seems to think that See, it's funny because on some places on the website, the OES is also listed as a product. And then in other places, it's not recognized as a product. It's just like the back office. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even really know. It just depends on where you look. And like, if in the moment it's good for them to say that it's a product. Like, if they are listing off all the products that they have, then they'll mention it as a product. You know, but then if someone says, oh, well, are you going to charge for OES? Then they'll be like, oh, no, because it's not a product. It's like, okay. That's all Mike says is get ready. Back in Christmas 2020, 2021, and 2022, he was saying, get ready. We're only hours away. Yeah, he's done that like every Christmas. And this past Christmas, even. Like, because this past Christmas was probably one of the hardest ones where they actually did have parents telling their kids, I have to buy O-Connect, so there's going to be less Christmas presents this year. But don't worry, because by next year, you know, we're going to be millionaires and have our generational wealth. And now here we are halfway through this year. And we know, like, they're probably not going to get to have a nice Christmas this year either. And it's like, holy shit, how do you do that to people? But that was Mike Ellis, by the way. See, I thought that he was going to try to give us some tips, but basically it was just like, listen, guys, nothing's changed. All right. Ash said that, you know, everything's going along as it is. Don't worry. And we're all going to be rich soon. And I was like, thank you. Thank you, Mike. I really need you to come out here every few weeks just to give me that little pep talk. Because if you don't, what if I leave?
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
So that's all I got for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed the live stream. I got to go because I have to also run to the store and it's getting kind of late. But that's what Mike Ellis, by the way, had to say. Not a whole lot, you know, as per usual. Are you sure the product isn't the back orifice? Well, maybe it is. Maybe that was the picture that Ash sent Marty the other day. Who knows? Who knows? Do you know what? You're right, though, Violet. The blog is a product in some places. Just like how, like, O-Media is a full product in some places. And then in other places, it's also just a blog. It's very weird. Very bizarre. Dakara says, Mike probably needed some pennies in ad revenue to pay some bills. So he had to put up some content. You know what? That's actually a good point. Maybe he is just putting up enough so that, you know, he can still make his AdSense. At this point, that's all they're making is AdSense, you know? They're not making any money off of their commissions, as we know. So all they really have is AdSense. Thomas, maybe the product is the friends we made along the way. Aw, maybe it is, Thomas. Maybe it is. Except I feel like the friends I've made along the way are a lot more genuine than the ones that they've made along the way. And, well, that's just too bad. But I hope that all of you have a fabulous rest of your Friyay, my sayers of nay. And that's what Mike Ellis had to say. Of course, by the way. Like, we knew I was going to say by the way.
I'm right? Mike Ellis, by the way.
So no matter where you are, what you're doing, have a fabulous rest of your Friyay. And I will see you all for MLM Monday. So also have a fabulous Saturday and Sunday, too. I don't know if there'll be you think they're paid marketers? I mean, they kind of are. Ash has given them more money out of his pocket than anyone else. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be a video out this weekend. And next week, I'm not going to be streaming as much because Tuesday is hubby's birthday. And then Thursday, I think it's Tuesday and Thursday. I should probably double check that. Yes, Tuesday and Thursday. My birthday is Thursday. So I'm probably going to end up doing a Friyay Sayers of Nay stream next week too, in which we'll celebrate my birthday. Because we know how much the guys in Onpassive love birthdays. I love all of you. Have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. Bye.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. If that's the call. Hey.
And I'm your friend.
That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own. And it breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ashma Potter. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or sighing or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was 3 minute Ash. And another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the question about religion. I think we've answered that over and over again. I've been answering them over and over. It's not the answer you want. Yeah. Only Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
Alright, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune into crazy girl talking about their experiences. My name is Ashma Potter, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Love you. Bye.
And I'm your friend.
Stop going there. That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own YouTube channel. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ashma Potter.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there.
My name is Ashma Potter, and I'm your friend. Let's go to Guyana.